We're out taking a look at this field that's about 15 acres where I've irrigated it for the last 30 years. And this end of the field, I haven't irrigated it. So it's a dry land experiment compared to irrigation. Taking a look at it today, we've had 4 inches of rain since seeding time. The plant is not showing any drought stress yet. It's been up to 100 degrees Fahrenheit, a good 32 degrees Celsius, 34, and the crop is standing up to it and flowering. We had another little bit of rain the other night, so it's about plants being water use efficient. So when the roots are interacting with the mycorrhizal fungi in the soil, it has an ability to extract all the moisture out of the soil instead of stopping when it gets to 55% moisture content. So I have yielded similar in this area of the field compared to adding on 9 inches of water. Right now I've applied on the other end of this field 6 inches of water, and I may get on another 3 inches yet before harvest time, and we'll do the comparisons with the combine to see what the yield difference is. About not as night and day yet, but that little rain, it's all a matter of it hanging on to the next rain in a dry land situation. Unless you never get any rain, then it's a different story. But that's holding on very well. The science that backs up what we're doing with the carbons is it is actually working on the epigenes of the seed that turns on the thirst gene, the hunger seeking gene for phosphorus. These are what we're discovering is making this technology work, is the nanocarbon part of it, taking the exhaust and solubilizing it. It has to be solubilized in order for it to have this absolute effect. What we're doing is working at also spraying it on. This field had the solubilizer on the seeder and on the sprayer. Nanocarbon that goes onto the leaf helps this plant use the sunlight more. Plants only use 10% of the sunlight. They use ultraviolet, blue light and red light, and when we put nanocarbons on leaves, it helps the plant photosynthesize up to 30% more using ultraviolet light and near infrared light. So this is the only way we're going to increase agriculture's production, is by increasing photosynthesis, and our technology is applying that science. So this is our first time growing durum, and it was recommended that durum is only good on dry land because when you irrigate it, it'll go flat to the ground. So what we experienced in growing wheat previously is that the wheat did not lodge. The reason why it has strong stalks like this is the plant is feeding on natural proteins from bacteria in the soil and nitrates. When a plant feeds on nitrate, it takes up silicone and it takes up copper at a higher amount to make very stiff, strong stalks. You can see these stalks here. They're right from the base. This plant has got very strong stalks, and it does not lodge because of plant physiology. You can go with many different breeds of durum and different lodging resistance, but when you put on ammonium phosphate, the plant does not take up copper, it does not take up as much silicone, and it will lodge. So under irrigation, you're trying to push a crop and you put on a lot of fertilizer, you have it all laying on the ground and it gets diseased, very difficult to harvest. But this crop, as you can see, we put 3 inches on in 12 hours, and there is not one spot in this field that is lodging because it has strong, high silicone, high copper that keeps the cells strong.